So that's it. Good morning, YouTube. My name is Endo Miller, and today on TNT, we're going to discuss a little bit about the essentials. What is essential? What is not essential? So, Elias, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Elias. I'm 35. I'm from Teresópolis, Rio de Janeiro. It's in mountains region of Rio de Janeiro. It's about 2 hours from capital. I'm here in TNT about from I don't know 1 month. I'm software engineer. It's my second time in meeting with you, Wendell. I had already 1 meeting with you.
Awesome.
And I think is it.
Okay, thanks a lot, Elias. Guys, I'm sorry about the noise because, it's a problem here. Epaminondas, your turn. Please introduce yourself, my friend.
Hello, good morning, y'all. I'm Epaminondas, but my short name is Nondas. I'm from Brasilia. I work as personal training, actually online personal training. I work online. I'm 27 years old. I've been studying English for 2 years, I think. And I'm been here in TNT since December. And yeah, that's all. It's very good to be here.
Okay. Monica, please.
Hi, good morning. My name is Monica. I'm a project manager. I am 52 years old, and I have a problem today with my pet. She had been convulsion, I don't know, convulsion start 1 week, and I am divided my time looking to you and look to my pet by trying to speak a little. And that's all. I'm TT 1 month only, and
Okay,
I love the subject.
Is
Yeah, I
he
love as
doing
well.
better now?
Monica, she asked you.
Sometimes
What
my city start to speak when I am speaking. I don't know what she thinks about my speaking with the notebooks. I don't know how can I turn off the city here.
Okay. So let me see. May, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah. May, I'm 24. I'm a computer science student. I also work as a software engineer. It is my first time here doing the English immersion. I usually do the French one. Yeah, I love learning languages, and I think that's it.
Awesome. Very good. Renata, are you here? Are you there? Introduce yourself, please. Yeah, no problem. If you want to say something, you can write in chat. And let's start this conversation with the first question, in my opinion, the hardest, because it's very open. What does essence means to you? This subject's very hard. Epaminondas, please. I want to hear from you.
Oh man, it's very deep, really. But when I think about essence, I think about the core of something. Is the unique thing, is the most important thing of something. In my opinion, that's essence.
Okay, nice. I think we are building here the concept, reviewing the concept and then try to create a pipeline of the whole idea. Let me see. Elias.
I don't know. Essentially, like Nanda said, it's a core. It's the principal part of something.
Very nice. Very nice. Let me see. May, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with them. I could just add maybe that like the essence is also something like the most important things to make something like work. The most basic, I could say, which is practically like the core, like Nonda said. So yeah, basically the most important things.
Very good. And let's see, Renata, are you here or there? Do you want to answer this question?
Hello, I'm here. I
Okay,
had
awesome.
problems with connection. So
Can you
present,
first introduce yourself and then you can answer the first question? I will send again the
yeah,
question.
my name is Renata. I live in Bahia. I'm 29. It's my second time in TALKNTALK. About the question, the word is essence. Yes, essence.
Yeah, right. What does essence mean?
It's difficult, I think. Is the property of something, the essential, the center. I don't know. It's difficult.
Okay, nice. Thanks a lot, Renata. How about you, Monica? What do you think about this question?
First, I looked it up in dictionary. My first step, and I found the intrinsic nature or indispensable quality of something. And I think it's an important movement that bring us to reflect about what really important in our lives. And it's a difficult movement and difficult to bring to our lives, but I think it's important to guide us to a better way to live.
Okay, very nice. And I think it's very interesting because we are here to practice our English and start to check the dictionary. That's very interesting because it's becoming serious. It's very serious conversation. So let's start because you said about the movement and I think it's nice. Let's jump to the question number 7. What do you think about this kind of movement? Do you think it's important? You can go first, Monica, please.
I think it's very, 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 very important. I am really happy with this movement because this movement get, I don't know if I can say get out important feelings. And during our life, we need to some things, some important things. And during this way, maybe we can stay lost with many informations around you. And it's necessary sometimes to stop and think what who I am, what I'm doing here, what I want to my life, where I want to arrive at, and bring and this movement bring to us the necessity of stop and think about it.
Very good. Very nice. And let me see. Elias, what do you think about this kind of movement? These changes?
Yes, I think it's very good because for all things in our life, it's I remember of Pareto's principles. Pareto say that the most of things we do, 20% principle. 80% of the things that happen in good things happen because of the 20% of the movements. Then the movements, the minimalist, essentialism, are very good. For example, I'm a software engineer, and we usually say that most of the things that we have done is not really necessary. There is a movement called the agility. These movements say that the agility is about to maximize the number of the not doing things. Less is better. Less is more.
Yeah,
It's
interesting to think about, for example, coding. We start writing a whole code, very big, very large, and then you become more essential, only coding the necessary to make the software run and so on, and you have to adapt and learn, and that's very nice to make this link. Thanks a lot.
It's not about the code. It's for example, my mother's house.
I'm just using it as an example, because for example, in the music, you can use the same example. We start learning a lot of notes, but when you learn more, you only use the notes that you really necessary to make the song.
It
sounds better.
It can be applied of all things in our life. For example, in my mother's house, my mother's has a lot of things in living room, a lot of gifts, of lembrancinhas. Then it's very difficult to clean, tirar poeira, to clean the dishes, to clean the living room.
Okay, nice. I think we are learning. I think the world is spread the message that we need to consume all the things because your house needs to be beautiful and you need to have a lot of different stuff. But now we are trying to review this. Let me see, Renata, what do you think about this kind of movement? Essentialism, minimalism, orderlism?
To be honest, I have never thought about it, but I think it's amazing because we have opportunity to take time to spend our lives with who matters and value important things, I think.
Okay. And Epaminondas, please help us with that.
My point of view, this movement is essential. And it's very important in my point of view, especially nowadays. We have a lot of inputs all the time. We have a lot of data, information, but less knowledge about the world, knowledge about ourselves. And it's very important to think about. Unfortunately, and we don't talk enough about this topic, about this subject. And when you have a lot of choice to do, you get frozen, you get a little, how can I say, lost. So maybe the problems that we have in general today and nowadays, it's about a lot of information, about a lot of choice, and so then we have more anxious, more depressed, and more disease about our mind, about our body, and it's very important to think about.
Yeah, and this is interesting, especially thinking about learning and language. For example, we have a lot of content on internet. You need to check, but sometimes I feel that the people are lost because they don't know how to start the things because, seeing or being flooded by all the information, and I don't know how to start with this information. And sometimes we need a wiser person to conduct us on that learning. Like, first step, you need to start from this and then, go doing that and so on and developing. So this is very interesting because a lot of people stop to learn something that's important, for example, a second language or something other skill, because they are kind of lost, surrounded by information. Oh my God, what I like that meme, that move, I forgot the name of the move, but the move. So this is very sad, the situation, because sometimes some people need a kind of mentor, a wiser person that will conduct, and see, oh, this is bad, but if you want to really move forward, you need to start from this other one.
It's hard because in the past, and we have a less choice, and it's easier in our point of view, and because you don't need to overthink about. So nowadays, when you want to do something, you put on the Google and at least 1 million of choice to do it. You get frozen, lost, and stop it.
Definitely. Yeah.
I feel like
Right.
nowadays we have like an extra task, which is like filtering all the information. And that is also very overwhelming.
Yeah, you're right, mate. You're totally right. And it's interesting because it's hard to keep the people exciting doing something new, because they don't know how to do that stuff. So you're trying to, you need to start from that. But how I can, what I need to do and so on. So,
and it also feels like you have to know so much that you kind of always feel like you're not enough.
Absolutely. And, talking about this, we can trigger a lot of other emotion. For example, comparison, it's like, because I'm not good, I'm having this problem because I'm not good. So it's a very deep hole.
And I think that connects a lot with Monica said earlier about like this movements. They're really good to self-reflect, to really know about yourself, like what is important to you. And when you know more about yourself, it makes you avoid getting to these points in life where you feel like you're not good enough, because you know exactly like you're aware that it takes a while to learn things, to you know more like your goals, they're clear on your mind. So yeah, I guess
Very
it's
nice.
very important.
Yeah, very nice. And sometimes it's funny because I remember something that the people used to say to me, and nowadays I agree with almost all of them. Like sometimes I need to stop doing something, just relax and wait and thinking again, and in a relaxed way, like just let it go, and then I restart, do something, and oh my God, now I know how to start that or what I need to do. Let's discuss a little bit the question number 6. That is essentialism just a fad? Because we are seeing rising essentialism, minimalism, 10 rules to do something, 10 rules to be read, or 10 rules to be, we see a lot of this kind of manual that the people, are building. And this is something that we have to think more. What do you think, Elias?
What's the meaning of fad?
Fad is kind of, I can try to explaining.
A trend?
Yeah, a trend, you know, something that it's very influenced by the time, you know, that we are living, like moda. Moda.
Yes.
Okay, I think essentially nowadays is a fad, is a moda, it's in high, is a high trend topic,
Okay.
but it's not just a fad. It's also a
Yes.
fad, but it is an important topic because out of times we have some fads, we have some trend topics, and nowadays the essentialism, minimalism is the trend topic, but it's not just it. It's an important thing
Okay.
that
Very
we
good.
have to practice.
And only some of them keep remaining, like, you know, if it's important, will remain, like the essentially we start to think, oh, I need to consume less and so on, adapt themselves. What do you think, Renata? What's your opinion?
I believe for some people it's a fact, but if you study, if you practice, if you think about and really, how can I say, if you really, fugiu a palavra, aplicar, if you apply the rules, if you study, I believe you can just.
Yeah, okay. Very good, very good. Because you're right. We need to avoid the prejudice. You need at least try to see the results. Of course, I think it's important or interesting. I will try. Okay. They're very nice. Monica, how about you?
I think that there are a lot of fads during the cycle of life, and we have to try to maintain to bring to our lives only things that are important, and there is no way to I don't know how can I say espalhar, to espalhar the news,
to spread
the news, a não ser fad, just fad. It's the first movement, because there are people that never heard about it, people heard but doesn't know what it is, people that know and trying to start the process, and it's the first movement to start something, and I think that the most beautiful things that happen with the human being is just to look for everything, every information, and choose what really important to you in that moment, because a lot of us is in a moment, in a different moment in our lives. And what's important to me is not important to you in this moment. Okay, like I don't know, a fisherman. I am to catch the fish that I need. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yes,
and
it's to be have a coach. Mentoring is important. Have a big picture about your life is important, but it's always a movement, and you have to start. It's important, and it's necessary to choose a mentor, someone that knows more about this subject to guide you.
Very good. Thanks a lot, Monica. Epaminondas, what do you think about the Fed?
I don't agree that this movement is a fad, because it's not new, and this movement, it exists since centuries and centuries ago, but it's become more famous now because the book, and because our culture is changing. In my point of view, it's not working very nice. So we bought a lot of things and we consume a lot, we have a lot of inputs, but we are empty. So it's very interesting to think about, because in the past we don't have, as I said before, we don't have a lot of choice like nowadays. So it's become more important now, because we have to think more about this. We have to think more about what is really essential for us, and because buy a lot of things and have a lot of relations, and it's not working very nice. We are becoming more anxious, become more depressed, and it's not working. So what's the answer? And maybe we are searching for essentialism, minimalism to answer this question. My point of view is not a fad, but it's a movement important, and in my point of view, it will increase, it will grow a lot, because it's very important to do less and to live more, you know.
Okay, very good. You know, you are saying, and I'm thinking that maybe because of the amount of choices that we have right now, I think we are kind of learning how to be more responsible by our action, you know, like it's important. We are kind of, we have all the possibility to choose, and now we have to be aware about what you're gonna do. Like, you know, I will choose this because of this or that, and the consequences will be like this or like that. In the past, we had a family that, oh, my son will grow and will work with, or will marry with, you know, that girl or a boy and so on. But, you know, now we have to learn how to conduct, you know, our own decision, and, you know, and deal with it. So it's very interesting to think about it. Nice. You know, this is a way that we have this conversation is kind of podcast. We are kind of floating the information, kind of the mind is blowing, and learn more and more.
I think that's very important to listen or watch the video again. But he said something about say no, and I think it's very, very, very important. And say no to development the skill to say no, to turn off. We are talking about it, I think last week about to turn off some things, and when you turn off and say no, you have time to do your things. Do you remember I have a to-do list, and when I went to the social media, I didn't do my to-do list, and now I not accept what I'm seeing in the social media. I go to the internet, to the social media, to find what's important to me in this moment. If I have if I have an option to turn off the the others, I don't know, propagandas, the others I will do, but I can't do it. Only search for important things to me in this moment. I think that's
Yeah.
a good strategy too.
Yeah, but I will answer you about the say no that the guys had said about the book. What we are doing right now is just, is what you said right now, because we are living the conversation here and creating other insights and so on. So because of it, I think it's important. Sometimes I put a kind of, a subject and something like that, some questions. But for me, what really matters is the answer, because I would like to hear from you, what you think about something. And I don't know what you think about, even I don't know what I will answer, but for me, it's important to be free to think in all the things, all the possibility, not only guiding but of course we are a group learning English together. So we are improving the conversation as well, like this, being, I think being relaxed, and answering what you want and so on. But of course, in any conversation I have, in my mind, the kind of, oh my God, I will do this, I will do that, I will create this. And, it's very, very, very interesting because I feel very excited. Thanks, Monica.
I'm very excited to speak English, to practice, and to think about these subjects that you bring to us. Congratulations.
Congratulations for you as well. May, about the question number 6, the last but not least, we want to hear from you. Your opinion is very important in this conversation.
Thank you. I guess I agree with most of what was said. I think it's not just a fad, but it's also like a style of life that is going to keep going, because once you try it, I guess you can see that you can achieve your goals with much more ease, because you know exactly what is important to reach your goals. Also, like Monica said before, that you learn how to say no to things that are not as important. So you learn how to not be so overwhelmed. And I think on the long term, that is very good for everybody, because just like notice that, like, because of this, we tend to be more anxious, more depressed, because we're anxious. We have too much information nowadays, and I don't think it's gonna get so much better in the future. We just have a tendency of having more and more information. And I guess it's something that people, they're not just going to try and stop. I think once they try, they're going to keep doing it.
Very good. I totally agree. Very good. Guys, as usual, I'm thinking that I will provoke, because we are saying, oh, that this essentialism is very good. We need to follow this. It's very important. Oh my God, this rocks. But about the cons, can we see some cons about to be essential, or to thinking about the essentialism? Elias, what do you think?
I don't know if there is a con. I really don't know. Because, for example, if you think about finance, essentially leads me to spend less. If I think about the productivity, essentially leads me to do the main things. If I think about the relationships, the question too, essentially make me to not to spend time with person that don't aggregate in my life. I don't know if there's a cons. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, I think I see one, which is exactly that. Like, if you're only focusing and doing only what is essential for you, maybe you can be in a bubble, maybe, and you're not going to be
Perfect.
trying new stuff. Also, I don't know, maybe just have a little bit more flavor in life. It can be good. I think maybe if you're too essential, it can be too strict sometimes.
Yeah, and it's it's funny about the books, the whole content that we see on internet about 10 rules to be like this or to be like that. Be like this or do that to be like this or like that. In my opinion, sometimes I think it's important to be silly. To be silly is important to commit mistake because I want to commit mistake just to, let it go. And
You'll
so
learn
what I
by
do,
making mistakes.
yeah, of course. And sometimes it's important to not care about the steps, like, oh, let it go, I'm good, because it's the life, the real life, because for me, sometimes this kind of movement sounds like only make the right stuff, and sometimes I think it's important to make the wrong stuff, like, seeing the possibility and so on. I think, for
I think it
example,
helps
a
with
lot of,
creativity.
absolutely, yeah, to be free, to kind of instigate yourself to think in different way, not in a bubble, like you said before. Awesome. E para mim, não, Mônica, you turn on your...
Sorry. I'm looking to you and listen, May. And do you know how is important to say, let's go, let it go, let it go, let it go?
Yeah, yeah. I totally agree.
I let me free to say no, to say let it go. But the attention may be it's about to be alone, to avoid to be alone. Because when you start to say no, sometimes you could exaggerate the movement and say no for everyone and ends alone, but it's not the goals to this movement, but the movement is about to I don't know, but I'm trying to express something like now is important to me to be more fluent in English, because I need to connect to other people and other cultures and to express better. And it's important to me to stay here with you. And I let my friends go to the carnival. But in another phase in my life, maybe to stay here is not important anymore. And there is in my life another movement. And yeah, you start another team, another people around me. And it's about let it go. We have to learn to let it go. Because nothing is eternity. It's only
your message was so beautiful that I'm hearing, a kind of song, in the background, like, you say a very beautiful message.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt the
No problem. It was awesome. Thanks a lot for sharing with us.
I think this is very important what she said, like, because in the end, life is all about balance. You can just have like extremes of anything, otherwise you could not have a great experience in life.
Yeah, and more or less we are trying to develop this here, because it's not only about, I always say the same, but it's not all about the English. English says the same, and a lot of people say the same. It's not about English, itself. It's about the connection, the perception of the life, the possibility, and we can use this space to grow in other areas of our life, other skills and so on. So it's important to refresh, the life. Guys, welcome back. How was the conversation for you?
Oh, yeah.
I need to pick up one. Mario, how was for you?
Very interesting. It's talk. As for me, it's I talk about the essential, and my vision about this is for me it's three. It's family, work, and friends. So my answers was about these three things, and so my behavior is about this to sorry, I forgot the word, priorizar that
Okay.
three things.
Very good. What is essential for you? Very good. Thanks a lot, Mario.
Okay.
Guys, I will provoke some of you about the conversation that we had in the room. That was, I want to hear from you, from Yasmin, accounts about this, being essentialist, be essentialist.
Overthinking, I think. Like
Very
you
good
you
one.
are
Very
always
good.
thinking about what is essential or not. So sometimes it drives me crazy, you know.
Very good. Very good one, actually. Let me
That's
see.
me. I love you.
I love you too.
Let me see other to provoke here. Felipe.
Hello, guys. Yeah, it was very interesting because the topic is very interesting. The questions that we supposed to answer are very tricky, not so easy to answer. But to summarize in few words, I think the cons of talk about this topic is to emphasize the necessity to prioritize our needs, our likes, and to have courage enough to go forward and move on and pursue your dreams. That's the thing. This is in few words, what summarize this topic for me. To be essentialist or minimalist is to focus in your necessities, and maybe you can be happy by doing this.
Very good answer. Very good. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Anderson, how about you? How was the conversation for you? Did you like?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Yes, this topic, I really like this topic because it's a topic, and we should and must need to think about our dreams, our goals, and what are we doing to achieve that goals. Even in Portuguese. So I like to talk with Yasmin, Mario, and Elisman.
Very good. Very good. That's the purpose of this conversation, to create other point of views, to, for me, always when I start a conversation, I don't know what I will answer, but when I start a conversation, I start to overthinking a lot of things and feeling excited and happy because it's interesting. I think the core of the learning, is try to make the stuffs interesting, because I think we can learn English or we can learn English, but you have, a lot of different sides of the learning process. So this is a very interesting thing to think. Bruna, I would like to know from you if essentialism is just a fad. What do you think about this question?
I don't think so. I think it's important, like to think about that and to consider and to like spend some time like thinking about that. Sometimes, just like Kira said, it can be something overwhelming, because you're overthinking and reconsidering things. But I think we only do that. We only stop to think about it when we are facing, like when we are struggling, so, oh, I've been working a lot, I am full of things, so okay, let me stop for a while to consider. So if we follow the guy's advice, like stop every week or every day to check if the things you are doing are really essential for you, maybe we would have I don't know, maybe we would make better decisions. So I don't think it's a fad. No, I think it's essential. It's necessary.
Yeah, we said about this as well in my room, like, this whole content about the manual of life. You need to do this or you need to that. I think we have to, considering all the possibility and even the possibility to be silly. I want to be silly, I want to commit some mistakes and I'm free. I'm good with it. It's important to, do something different, not only follow rules of to be, always right, that we are developing here. Guys, thanks a lot for this conversation. Was essential for me this week. And I learned a lot. I always learn, so this is very special. And have a nice week. Okay, thanks a lot. See you in the next week.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Thank you so much.